Yeah, the golf is has been inconsistent. You have a good round and suddenly is that one round that just want to make you stop. But I play golf to enjoy it. Very seldom play to win anything. And I find when you relax, that's when you actually win something.
And what do you play this Gary Invitational?
Well, for me, it's a great privilege and honor, to have been invited for the last 3 years, to have come here and obviously enjoy the moment. But also, we know that we have obligation and responsibility for raising funds for the foundation. I think that's the important part. The golf is an added incentive, which I quite enjoy. But I think getting the impact in the townships and underprivileged areas and making sure everybody gets equal opportunities, I think that's what it's about.
Okay, and moving over to Bafana.
Yeah.
Obviously, earlier this year, fantastic run to the semi-finals at
Yep.
AFCON, and they've just about qualified for the next one. Not too much left to do. What are your thoughts on Bafana at the moment?
Yeah, I think obviously we were hoping could do it in the last game. Had they won that game, they would have qualified. So we've got 2 games left, one home and away, and 2 points is needed. But I think it's important that we get that victory as quickly as possible. It will be tough going to Uganda, but I think South Sudan at home in Cape Town should be a game that we can wrap it up. I'm confident also that we will qualify for both tournaments, the World Cup and AFCON. But I think we need to take it one step further and not settle for the bronze and silver, but go all the way for the gold, especially in the AFCON.
What do you like of Hugo Broos and what he's done for this team?
Well, he's a very experienced coach. I think he's been around the block for quite some time. He's been quite consistent in his team selection, which is quite good. And then also, the way they play, they don't really change. Maybe at times a little bit predictable, but hopefully I think he will analyze also what he can do better with the team to see if we can go all the way. But I think the fact that we're unbeaten in the last 13, 15 games, it shows obviously there's progress and there's definitely a lot of improvement.
Okay, and what about the player like Ronwen Williams nominated
Well,
the Holland World?
well, that's great for South Africa, isn't it? And for Africa as a continent, because I don't think we've had that before. And to have someone like Ronwen to be recognized, it shows what he achieved in the AFCON, especially, saving those 4 penalties. But also for club level, he's been doing really well. He's been consistent in his display, and he's a true leader. Not just for Bafana Bafana, but also for Mamelodi Sundowns. And it's a bit of concern because we don't see any other young South African keepers coming through. So hopefully he'll play quite a few years more for us.
Talk about not too many guys coming through. What about the guys that have already come through? Like there's been comparisons with Ronwen and Itu.
Yep.
Do you think those are fair comparisons?
They're always going to be comparisons, between Itu, Andre, Orense, Ronwen, players that's played for the national team, that's played at highest level. I believe everybody individually have their own strengths and weaknesses, and I think the comparison and for me comes more from the media side. But I think the individuals themselves, they know what they want from their career, and they're going to try everything possible in order to achieve it.
Locally, Kaizer Chiefs,
Yeah.
they started really well this season, and the Kaizer Chiefs fever was up again. Okay, they've lost a couple of games
Yeah.
since the first 2 games in that Sunday
Yeah.
game. What is a strong Kaizer Chiefs team or the Chiefs team that is winning mean for South African football?
Well, it means a lot. I think studies were done in the past where when Chiefs and Pirates win games, even productivity in the workforce goes up from Monday. So I think it's very important for a strong Chiefs to compete in the league. It's just unfortunate that obviously they had this little blip in the season so far. But that's the best about football. It gives you another opportunity to go and improve. So they know exactly what needs to be done, what the weaknesses are, and hopefully they'll improve on that. And I think they have a decent enough squad in order to compete. Maybe just mentally, some of those players have a bit of a block as to really achieving what they're supposed to. And I think that for me is more concerning than the quality of the players.
And they do seem to be playing like an exciting type of
Yeah.
football. Would you agree with that? Are you excited when you watch?
Well, you've got to be consistent in your play, and unfortunately, we haven't seen much of that. With Kaizer Chiefs, they give you a little bit of hope, and and then they take it away again. So I think it's more about consistency, and that I think professional sport in general is all about that. If you want to win, you've got to do it day in, week out, and for the whole season. That's consistency. You can't just, turn up on a Saturday not having trained well enough, and then expect things to happen. The same goes for training. You've got to turn up every day and give your best because, like I always say, there are millions of people in this country that would love to be in the position that they are, and they need to take full advantage of it.
You mentioned consistency there.
Yep.
A team that is doing that in leaps and bounds at the moment. Orlando Pirates have won 7 in
Well,
a row to start. First time they've won really 6 in a row in the league.
Yep.
What do you make of this?
You cannot run away from that. Even though you don't want to acknowledge the fact that they've won 7 games, the stats will tell you, the performance will tell you, the results will tell you, and there will be a constant reminder also from fans wherever you go. As a former Chiefs player, that's what I get on a daily basis, which is quite disappointing, but I've got to take it. And that's what the players also of Kaizer Chiefs need to accept. There's going to be a lot of criticism, but it's how do you use that criticism and turn it into a positive for you as an individual or your team, and then obviously bounce back.